The moment I spot the faint glow of her phone screen, my stomach twists. It's past midnight, and I'm leaning against the doorway, watching my wife, Bella, hunched over her phone in the dim light of our bedroom. Her expression, smirking, eyes flitting across the screen, is a look I haven't seen her wear in a long time. She doesn't notice me standing there. Not yet. "Who's texting you so late?" I ask, breaking the silence. My voice is calm, but inside, it's like I'm balancing on the edge of a cliff. Bella jumps, nearly dropping the phone. "Oh, just work stuff," she replies quickly, too quickly. Her tone doesn't match her words. She flips the phone screen down onto the bed like it's instinct. Work stuff? At this hour? I know her boss isn't a night owl, and Bella doesn't work overtime on Sundays. My chest tightens. It's the same tension I've been feeling for months now. The late-night phone calls, the sudden secrecy about her schedule, and the new habit of guarding her phone like it's the crown jewels. It all adds up to one thing, and it isn't good. But I don't push. Not yet. Instead, I nod and walk away, pretending I buy her excuse. The air between us feels heavier than ever as I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. Beside me, Bella slips under the covers and turns her back to me. Soon, I hear her breathing even out. She's asleep, or pretending to be. I pick up her phone from her nightstand, my pulse hammering in my ears. The screen lights up, and there it is, a message from someone saved as J. "Miss you already. Next time, my place?" I grip the phone so tightly my knuckles ache. Every muscle in my body tenses, the blood roaring in my ears. "Miss you already? My place?" My head spins as I scroll up, finding a trail of flirty messages, jokes, and plans to meet. They've been seeing each other for weeks. No names are mentioned, but the tone is unmistakable. For a moment, all I can do is sit there, holding the phone, staring at the words that are tearing my world apart. My wife, the woman I promised forever to, is cheating. I set the phone down gently, almost mechanically. My hands tremble as I force myself to breathe. I can't confront her yet, not until I know everything. The next morning, Bella acts like everything's fine, kissing me on the cheek as she heads out for the day. I force myself to smile back, to pretend nothing has changed. But inside, I'm seething. She has no idea what I saw, no idea what's coming next. I grab my keys and leave the house, my mind already racing with plans. If Bella's going to betray me, she'll regret it. I'll make sure of that. I spend the next few days observing Bella like a hawk. Every movement, every glance at her phone, every excuse she gives for being out late. It all fits the puzzle I'm piecing together. The woman I thought I knew has turned into a stranger right before my eyes. That Friday, she claims she's working late on a project. I don't argue, just nod and wish her luck. As soon as she's out the door, I pull out my laptop and access the shared cloud account we set up years ago. She doesn't know I still have access. A few clicks, and I see her phone's location in real time. It's heading straight for a hotel across town. The cold, calculated part of me kicks in. I know I need more than just the text on her phone. If I'm going to confront her, I want undeniable proof. I make a call to a private investigator I found online. The voice on the other end is calm and professional. "We'll handle it. I'll be in touch." That evening, Bella returns home wearing the same smile she's always used to diffuse my questions. But I don't ask any. Instead, I keep things light, acting like nothing's wrong. She talks about work while I nod along, but my mind is miles away, thinking about the PI trailing her. The next day, the investigator calls. "I've got what you need," he says. "Photos, timestamps, and well, it's not good. Send me everything," I reply, my voice steady despite the storm raging inside me. Within minutes, my inbox fills with images. Bella with a man, tall, clean-cut, mid-40s, laughing over dinner. Bella entering the same hotel I tracked her to the night before. Bella in his car, their faces far too close for colleagues. I scroll through the photos, each one a nail in the coffin of our marriage. My stomach churns, but I refuse to break down. Not yet. This isn't the time for emotion. It's the time for action. That night, I lay my plan. Bella has no idea what's coming, but I know one thing for certain. She'll never see me as the naive husband She thinks she's been fooling. It's Saturday night, and Bella is working late again. My jaw tightens as I watch her back out of the driveway, all dolled up in a black dress that hugs her figure. She didn't even bother to come up with a convincing excuse this time. My fingers itch with the need to act, but I hold steady. Timing is everything. Once she's gone, I grab my coat, slip my phone into my pocket, and head to the car. Tonight, I'm not sitting idly by while she sneaks around. I'm following her. The PI's intel gave me all the details I need. I drive across town, keeping a safe distance from her car. She pulls into a small, upscale hotel and parks. I find a spot across the street, out of sight, and wait. 15 minutes pass, then 20. My grip tightens on the steering wheel as my imagination runs wild. Finally, I see her emerge from the elevator lobby with the same man from the photos. They're laughing, her hand resting on his arm as they head for the hotel bar. I clench my fists, the urge to storm is nearly overpowering. But I force myself to stay calm. This isn't the time to blow my cover. Instead, I take out my phone and snap a few photos of my own. Bella's smile looks radiant, her laugh carefree. My stomach turns at how happy she looks with him. It's a happiness I haven't seen in years, a happiness she's denied me. As they disappear into the bar, I make my move. I enter the hotel through the side entrance and head straight for the bar's side door. From a dark corner, I spot them sitting at a cozy booth, leaning in close. The man whispers something, and Bella giggles like a love-struck teenager. I feel my temper rise, but I stay in control. This isn't just about catching her in the act. It's about ensuring there's no way for her to twist the truth. I discreetly record the scene, zooming in as she reaches out to touch his hand. A part of me wonders how it came to this, how the woman I love could so easily betray me. But that part is quickly overshadowed by the cold, calculated determination to see this through. After a while, they get up and leave the bar, heading for the elevator. I follow, staying far enough behind to avoid suspicion. When they enter a room on the 6th floor, I slip back into the stairwell and wait. My heart pounds in my chest, the urge to confront her clawing at me like a wild animal. But I need more proof, and I need it delivered strategically. I text the PI, "They're here. Room 612. Can you set up for tomorrow?" His reply is immediate. "Already planned. We'll have eyes and ears ready." I take a deep breath, letting the tension bleed away as I descend the stairs. Bella doesn't know it yet, but her web of lies is unraveling fast. Tomorrow, everything changes. The morning sun filters through the blinds as I sit in the kitchen, nursing a cup of coffee I can barely taste. Bella waltzes in, humming to herself, her hair still damp from her shower. She's dressed in one of her casual outfits, a clear overcompensation for whatever she did last night. "Morning," she chirps, flashing me a smile. I nod, pretending to focus on the sports section of the newspaper. My calm demeanor seems to reassure her. She grabs a banana and sits across from me, scrolling on her phone like she has nothing to hide. "Busy day ahead?" I ask, keeping my tone casual. "Oh, just errands," she says, barely looking up. "You?" "Same old," I reply, setting the paper down. "Maybe I'll swing by the hardware store. Fix that squeaky door upstairs." "Sounds good," she says with a shrug, her attention still glued to her screen. She's completely at ease, which means she has no idea what's coming. Good. I let her leave the house, waving as she backs out of the driveway. The moment she's gone, I grab my phone and call the PI. "She just left," I say. "You ready?" "Everything's in place," he replies. "We'll keep you updated." I hang up, my mind racing. The plan is simple but effective. The PI's team has set up cameras in the hotel room, strategically placed to capture every damning detail. If she brings him there again, there will be no denying what's been going on. Hours crawl by as I wait for the call. I try to distract myself by tinkering in the garage, but my mind keeps replaying the images from last night. Her smile, her laughter, the way she touched him. It's enough to make my blood boil. By mid-afternoon, my phone buzzes. It's the PI. "They're in the room now," he says. "We've got everything." My chest tightens. It's real. No more guessing, no more suspicion, just cold, hard evidence. I thank him and hang up, My next move already decided. Bella won't expect me to act today, which makes it the perfect time. I drive to the hotel, my hands gripping the steering wheel so tightly they ache. My heart pounds as I park and enter through the side door. I bypass the front desk and take the stairs to the 6th floor, where I know they are. Every step feels heavier than the last, my mind racing with possibilities. What will I say? How will she react? Does it even matter anymore? As I reach the door to room 612, I pause, my hand hovering over the handle. From inside, I can hear muffled laughter, Bella's laugh. The sound I used to love now feels like a dagger twisting in my chest. I take a deep breath, steeling myself. This is it. No turning back now. I knock, firm and deliberate. The laughter stops. There's a long pause before the door opens slightly, revealing the man I now know as Jared. His face pales as he recognizes me, and I can see the panic in his eyes. "Can I help you?" he stammers, trying to block my view of the room. "Oh, I think you can," I say coldly, shoving the door open. Jared stumbles back, and there she is, Bella, wrapped in a hotel robe, her face frozen in shock. For a moment, none of us speak, the tension in the room so thick it's suffocating. "Surprise," I say, my voice dripping with sarcasm. "Didn't expect me, did you?" Her eyes dart between Jared and me, her mouth opening and closing like she's struggling to find words. But nothing she can say will make this better. I've got all the proof I need. Bella takes a shaky step toward me, her mouth finally finding words. "This isn't what it looks like," she says, her voice trembling. I laugh, a short, bitter sound that even surprises me. "Oh, really?" I say, crossing my arms. "So you weren't sneaking around behind my back? You weren't here with him last night? And you weren't here today?" She glances at Jared, who looks like he wants to sink into the floor. It's complicated," she stammers, her hands wringing together. I shake my head, my anger simmering just beneath the surface. "Complicated? No, Bella. It's actually very simple. You lied to me. You betrayed me. And now you're caught." Her face crumples, tears streaming down her cheeks as she stumbles over her excuses. "I didn't mean for this to happen. I was feeling lonely. You've been so distant lately. Don't you dare try to put this on me." I snap, my voice rising. "I've been working my ass off to give us a good life, and this is how you repay me?" Jared finally speaks, his voice weak and shaky. "Look, man, I didn't know." "Save it." I cut him off, stepping closer. "You didn't know she was married? That she had a husband at home while you played house in this hotel room?" He doesn't respond, just stares at the floor like a scolded child. I take another step forward, and he instinctively raises his hands. "I'll leave, okay? I'll leave." "No," I say, my tone icy. "You're going to sit right there while I finish this." I turn back to Bella, who's now sitting on the edge of the bed, her face buried in her hands. "Do you even realize what you've done?" I ask, my voice quieter but no less furious. "Do you have any idea what you've destroyed?" She looks up at me, her face streaked with tears. "I'm sorry," she whispers. "I never meant to hurt you." "Sorry?" I echo, my hands balling into fists at my sides. "You're sorry? That's all you have to say?" She starts to speak, but I hold up a hand to stop her. "Save your apologies. They mean nothing to me now." I pull my phone from my pocket and open the folder of evidence the PI sent me. Photos, timestamps, video, it's all there. I hold it up for her to see, watching as her face crumbles further with each swipe. "Did you think I wouldn't find out?" I ask, my voice low and dangerous. "Did you think you could keep this from me forever?" "I didn't know what to do," she chokes out. "I was scared." Scared of what?" I interrupt. "That I'd catch you? That I'd finally see you for the liar you are?" Her silence is deafening. I turn back to Jared, who's still sitting on the couch, looking like he wants to disappear. "You've got 5 seconds to get out of my sight," I tell him, "before I decide you don't deserve to walk out of here." He doesn't need to be told twice. Jared bolts from the room, leaving the door wide open behind him. I watch him go, then turn back to Bella, who's now sobbing quietly. "I trusted you," I say, my voice heavy with the weight of my betrayal. I gave you everything, and you threw it all away. She doesn't respond, just sits there, her head bowed in shame. I take a deep breath, forcing myself to regain control. You'll hear from my lawyer, I say, turning toward the door. We're done. Her sobs grow louder as I leave, but I don't look back. I can't. The cold air outside hits me like a slap, but I welcome it. It clears my head, steels my resolve. This is just the beginning. The drive home feels surreal, my hands gripping the wheel so tightly my knuckles turn white. Bella's tear-streaked face, Jared's cowardly retreat. It replays in my mind on a loop, but each repetition only fuels my determination. This isn't over. Not by a long shot. When I pull into the driveway, the house feels like a stranger. The warmth and safety it once held are gone, replaced by a cold hollowness. I step inside, and the scent of lavender, the air freshener Bella loved so much, hits me like a cruel joke. I turn it off, cutting the programmed cheer out of my home. I sit down at the kitchen table, pulling out my laptop and opening a new folder. I name it Evidence. One by one, I upload the photos, videos, and messages the PI gathered. Every piece of proof is a weapon, and I'm arming myself for the battle ahead. My phone buzzes. It's a text from Bella. Please come back. We need to talk. I stare at the screen, my jaw tightening. We need to talk? Now she wants to talk? I delete the message without replying. The time for talking is over. Now, it's about action. The first thing I do is contact my lawyer, an old college friend named Tyler who owes me a favor. When I explain the situation, his response is sharp and to the point. We'll make sure she doesn't get a dime more than she deserves. That's exactly what I want to hear. Tyler agrees to meet me the next morning to discuss the details. In the meantime, I turn my attention to the house. Bella may have betrayed me, but she's not taking this home away from me, not without a fight. I gather every document I can find, the mortgage papers, insurance policies, bank statements. If she wants to play games, she's going to lose. The next day, I meet Tyler at his office. His confidence is contagious as he lays out the strategy. We'll file for divorce on the grounds of infidelity, he explains. With the evidence you've collected, we'll have a strong case. Good, I say, leaning back in the chair. I don't just want to win, I want her to feel this. Tyler smirks. She will. But remember, we need to keep this clean. No stunts, no confrontations. Let the system work for you. I nod, though the thought of keeping my cool feels impossible. Still, I know he's right. If I lose control, I lose leverage. And right now, leverage is everything. As I leave Tyler's office, my phone buzzes again. Another message from Bella. Please, just come home. We can fix this. This time, I reply, fix it? The only thing getting fixed is our divorce paperwork. Her response comes almost immediately. You can't just throw this away. We've been together for years. I laugh bitterly as I type my reply. You threw it away the moment you stepped into that hotel room. There's no response after that, and for the first time in days, I feel a sense of control returning. She knows I'm serious now. She knows she's lost. But I'm not just stopping at the divorce. I'm going to make sure everyone knows the truth. Her family, her friends, even her boss. She doesn't get to walk away from this unscathed. As I pull into my driveway, I think about the life I'm about to rebuild. It won't be easy, but it'll be mine. And that's a start. The next morning, I wake up to the sound of my phone buzzing. Another message from Bella. I groan and pick it up, half expecting another plea for reconciliation. Instead, it's a long, rambling text. I don't know what I was thinking. Jared meant nothing to me. It was just a distraction. You're the one I love. Please don't ruin us over one mistake. Can we just talk? Please. Her words ignite a fresh wave of anger. A mistake? That's what she's calling months of lies and betrayal. I toss the phone aside and head to the kitchen, where the coffee maker hums softly. The warmth of the mug in my hands steadies me as I plan my next move. Bella's text isn't just an apology, it's an opening, a crack in her defenses. And if she wants to talk, I'll let her. But on my terms. By mid-morning, I send her a response. You want to talk? Fine. Meet me at the park at 3 p.m. Don't be late. Her reply comes instantly. Thank you. I'll be there. I don't tell her that this isn't a reconciliation. It's a reckoning. At 3 p.m. sharp, I arrive at the park and park my car near the entrance. The open space feels oddly peaceful, a stark contrast to the storm brewing inside me. I spot Bella sitting on a bench, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. She looks up as I approach, her face pale and drawn. Thank you for meeting me, she says, her voice soft. I didn't think you'd even respond. I wasn't going to, I admit, standing a few feet away. But then I realized there were things I needed to say. She gestures to the bench, but I stay standing, keeping the physical distance as a barrier. You've got 5 minutes, I say coldly. Start talking. Bella's eyes well up with tears as she stumbles over her words. I made a mistake. I let things get out of hand. Jared he was there when I felt alone. But it didn't mean anything. Didn't mean anything? I snap, my voice rising. You lied to me for months. You met him in our bed, and you're telling me it didn't mean anything? She flinches at my words but doesn't look away. I was wrong. I know I was wrong. But we can fix this. We can go to counseling. I'll do whatever it takes. I laugh bitterly, shaking my head. Counseling? Bella, we're past that. You didn't just betray me. You betrayed everything we built. Every promise, every moment. And now you want me to just forget it? She reaches out, her voice trembling. I don't want to lose you. I love you. Love? I echo, my voice dripping with disdain. You don't even know what love is. If you loved me, you wouldn't have done this. You wouldn't have lied and cheated and destroyed our marriage. Tears stream down her face now, and for a moment, I feel a flicker of pity. But it's gone as quickly as it comes. I've spent enough time feeling sorry for her. Now it's time for her to face the consequences. I've already filed for divorce, I say, my voice firm. I've got the evidence, and I've got the lawyer. This is happening, Bella. You can fight it if you want, but you won't win. Her face crumbles, and she starts to plead. Please, Alex, don't do this. Don't throw us away. I take a step back, crossing my arms. You threw us away the moment you chose him. This isn't on me. This is on you. She sobs into her hands as I turn and walk away, her cries echoing behind me. Each step feels lighter, freer. For the first time, I feel like I'm taking control of my life again. But I know this isn't the end. Bella isn't going to let go that easily. And I'm ready for whatever comes next. Bella's tears don't haunt me as I drive away from the park. Instead, they harden my resolve. She's shown her true colors, and I'm done playing the fool. But I also know this is just the beginning. Bella isn't the type to let things go quietly. By the time I get home, there's a new email waiting for me from Tyler, my lawyer. He's already drafted the divorce papers and included a detailed list of conditions based on our prenuptial agreement. I skim through it, feeling a grim satisfaction as I see the financial protections I'll retain. As I pour myself a drink, my phone buzzes. It's a text from Bella. This time, the tone is different, sharper. You're making a mistake. We built this life together, and I won't let you take it all away from me. The audacity makes me laugh. I type back, you destroyed this life, Bella. Now you'll live with the consequences. She doesn't reply, but I can feel the storm brewing. Bella isn't going to go down without a fight. The next morning, I meet Tyler in his office to finalize the paperwork. He looks up from his desk as I enter, his expression serious. You ready for this? He asks. Absolutely, I say, sitting down. I've waited long enough. We go over the details one more time, and Tyler points out the sticking points we anticipate from Bella. She's going to fight hard on the house, he says. But with the evidence we have, we're in a strong position. Infidelity clauses are clear. She can have the furniture for all I care, I reply. I just want her out. Tyler nods, sliding the papers across the desk for my signature. As I press the pen to the page, a strange calm washes over me. It feels like I'm taking the first real step toward reclaiming my life. Later that evening, as I sit in the quiet of my house, my phone rings. It's a number I don't recognize. Reluctantly, I answer. Alex, a familiar voice says. It's Bella, but she sounds different, controlled, almost icy. What do you want? I ask, keeping my tone neutral. I got your papers, she says, and I hope you're ready for a fight. Because if you think I'm walking away with nothing, you're delusional. I feel the anger rising but force it down. This isn't a negotiation, Bella. You don't get to make demands after what you did. I'll make sure everyone knows how controlling you are, she snaps. How you pushed me away. Don't think you're the victim here. Her words sting, but I refuse to let her see it. Do whatever you need to feel better about yourself, I say. But the truth always wins, Bella. And we both know the truth, don't we? There's silence on the line for a moment before she hangs up. I set the phone down, my hands steady despite the adrenaline pumping through me. Bella's playing dirty, just like I expected. But she doesn't realize I'm 2 steps ahead. I pull up the folder of evidence on my laptop and start preparing my next move. The photos, the videos, the receipts. It's all there, waiting to dismantle every lie she tries to spin. As the night deepens, I make a call to Tyler, filling him in on Bella's threats. He's unfazed. Let her talk, he says. The more she says, the more we can use against her. I hang up, feeling a renewed sense of determination. This isn't just about winning the divorce. It's about ensuring Bella can't rewrite the narrative to paint herself as the victim. She made this mess, and I'll make sure the world sees her for who she truly is. The next morning, I wake up to a new text thread from Bella. Her words are dripping with anger and desperation now. If you think you can humiliate me with this, think again. I'm not going to sit by while you ruin my reputation. I shake my head, scrolling through her increasingly frantic messages. It's a classic move, play the victim, shift the blame, and hope I'll back down. But I'm not backing down. After a quick breakfast, I drive to Tyler's office. He's already waiting for me, a folder of fresh documents spread across his desk. She's trying to get ahead of you, he says, gesturing to his laptop. Her lawyers already filed a response. They're claiming emotional abuse, neglect, and irreconcilable differences. The claim makes my stomach turn, but I stay composed. Abuse? I say, my voice steady. She's really pulling that card? It's predictable, Tyler replies. They don't have evidence, just her word. But we have the texts, the photos, and the PI's recordings. Her claims won't hold up. He slides a document toward me. Here's our next move. We're filing a counterclaim for marital misconduct, citing her infidelity. With the evidence we have, we'll take this to mediation or court if necessary. I read through the document, each word reinforcing my determination. Tyler has outlined everything. Every lie, every betrayal, every piece of proof. By the time I finish, I feel like I'm holding a weapon, and I'm ready to use it. File it, I say, signing my name at the bottom. Let's see how she handles the truth. That afternoon, I get a call from the private investigator. His voice is calm, but there's a sharp edge to it. She's trying to cover her tracks, he says. Her lover, Jared, is denying everything. He's saying they were just colleagues and nothing more. I let out a bitter laugh. And the hotel rooms? The photos? The texts? Exactly, the PI replies. He's not denying they were together, just spinning it like it was all business. But I've got something else you'll want to see. He sends me a file, and I open it immediately. Inside are photos of Jared and Bella meeting in secret again, this time at a different location. It's another hotel, another set of damning evidence. She's not even trying to hide it, I say, my anger bubbling to the surface. Nope, the PI agrees. She's arrogant, thinks she can outsmart you. Not for long, I mutter. That evening, I compile everything into a single file, a timeline of her deceit. I send it to Tyler, who responds almost instantly, "This is airtight. Let's keep pushing." The following days are a whirlwind of preparation. Tyler schedules mediation, and I steel myself for the inevitable confrontation. Bella's texts become more sporadic, a mix of pleading and threats, but I ignore them. I've said all I need to say. Finally, the day of mediation arrives. I sit across from Bella in a sterile conference room, her lawyer at her side. She looks pale but defiant, her eyes narrowing when she meets mine. "This doesn't have to get ugly," her lawyer begins, but Tyler cuts him off. "It already is," he says, sliding the file across the table. My client has enough evidence to prove infidelity beyond a shadow of a doubt. Your client's claims of abuse are baseless, and we're prepared to demonstrate that in court. Bella's lawyer hesitates, flipping through the file. Bella, however, glares at me. You're really going to do this? She hisses. After everything we've been through? Yes, I say evenly. Because you made this choice, Bella. Not me. Her lawyer leans in, whispering something to her, but she shakes her head. I'm not signing anything, she snaps. Tyler smirks. Then we'll see you in court. The room falls silent, the tension palpable. I stand, buttoning my jacket. I'll let the evidence speak for itself. As I leave, I feel a weight lifting. Bella wanted a fight, and now she's got one. But this time, I'm playing to win. The courtroom feels colder than I expected, the air thick with tension as I take my seat beside Tyler. Across the room, Bella sits with her lawyer. She avoids my gaze, but I can see the tension in her stiff posture and the way she fidgets with her pen. Her lawyer whispers something to her, and she nods, her jaw tightening. The judge, a stern-faced woman in her 60s, enters the room, and the chatter dies down. We rise as she takes her seat at the bench. Her eyes scan the room, her expression unreadable. Let's begin, she says. Tyler is calm, collected, and methodical as he presents our case. He begins with the evidence of infidelity, walking the court through the photos, texts, and PI reports. Each piece feels like a hammer blow, and I can see Bella shrinking in her seat as the truth is laid bare. When Tyler plays the video of Bella and Jared entering the hotel room together, the courtroom is silent except for the sound of the tape. Bella's lawyer shifts uncomfortably, clearly unprepared for how damning the evidence is. Your Honor, Tyler says, his voice steady, this isn't just a case of marital misconduct. It's a betrayal of trust, one that has had a profound impact on my client. We're asking for a fair and just resolution in light of this overwhelming evidence. The judge nods, making notes as Tyler speaks. Then it's Bella's lawyer's turn. He stands, adjusting his tie, and begins his defense. Your Honor, while the evidence presented may appear incriminating, we argue that this marriage had already broken down due to Mr. Mitchell's emotional neglect and controlling behavior. I can't help but scoff under my breath, but Tyler places a calming hand on my arm. Bella's lawyer continues, painting a picture of me as an emotionally distant husband who left Bella feeling isolated and unloved. It's a clever narrative, but it's built on nothing but her word. And Tyler is ready for it. Your Honor, Tyler says as he rises, we anticipated these claims, and we have evidence to the contrary. He presents emails and texts between Bella and me from months before the affair began. Messages where I expressed love, planned dates, and supported her during stressful times at work. It's clear that I wasn't the neglectful monster she's trying to portray. The judge studies the evidence, her expression remaining neutral. Bella's lawyer falters, clearly caught off guard. Tyler presses the advantage. Not only do we have proof that my client was a loving and supportive husband, he says, but we also have evidence that Mrs. Mitchell continued her affair even after this case was brought to light. He hands over the latest photos from the PI, Bella and Jared meeting again at yet another hotel. The judge's brow furrows as she examines them. Mrs. Mitchell, the judge says, her voice firm, do you have an explanation for this? Bella's face flushes red and she stammers, I was meeting him for closure. It wasn't what it looks like. The judge's gaze hardens. It's not a good look, Mrs. Mitchell. Tyler leans over and whispers, this is going better than I expected. As the proceedings continue, I feel a sense of vindication growing. Bella's lawyer struggles to regain control, but the momentum is firmly on our side. By the time the judge calls for a recess, it's clear that Bella's case is crumbling. I step outside the courtroom, taking a deep breath of the cool air. Tyler joins me, his expression triumphant. We've got this, he says. Just stay calm, and let them dig their own grave. I nod, feeling a strange mixture of relief and anticipation. The end is in sight, but the battle isn't over yet. After the recess, the courtroom feels even colder, the tension so thick it's almost suffocating. As the judge resumes her seat, I glance at Bella. Her face is pale, her hands clutching her lawyer's notes like they're a lifeline. She knows what's coming. Tyler begins our final argument with precision, hammering home every point like a seasoned fighter delivering knockout punches. Your Honor, my client has endured months of betrayal and deception at the hands of Mrs. Mitchell, he says, his voice steady but firm. The evidence is irrefutable. This isn't a case of mutual fault or miscommunication. This is a clear, deliberate violation of the marital contract. He holds up the folder containing the damning photographs and texts. Not only did Mrs. Mitchell engage in an ongoing affair, but she continued to meet with her lover even after these proceedings began. Her actions show a blatant disregard for her marriage and for this court. The judge nods, her expression unreadable, but her pen moving steadily across her notes. Tyler pauses, letting the weight of his words settle over the room. When it's Bella's lawyer's turn, he stumbles through a weak rebuttal, trying to shift the blame onto me once again. But it's clear the judge isn't buying it. She cuts him off with a raised hand. I've heard enough, she says, her tone clipped. Both parties have presented their arguments, and the evidence speaks for itself. She turns her gaze to Bella, who shrinks under the weight of the judge's scrutiny. Mrs. Mitchell, your conduct throughout this marriage and these proceedings has been reprehensible. The court finds in favor of Mr. Mitchell. The words hit like a thunderclap, and I feel a rush of relief wash over me. It's done. I've won. The judge continues, outlining the terms of the settlement. Bella will receive no claim to the house, no spousal support, and minimal assets. It's a harsh ruling, but one that feels just after everything she's put me through. Bella's face crumples as the judge finishes, tears streaming down her cheeks. Her lawyer pats her on the back, but it's clear even he knows this battle is lost. As the judge adjourns the court, I stand, shaking Tyler's hand. You did it, I say, my voice filled with gratitude. We did it, he replies. Go enjoy your life, Alex. You've earned it. Outside the courtroom, Bella approaches me. Her eyes are red, her voice shaking. Alex, please, we don't have to end it like this. I made a mistake, but I still love you. I stare at her, a wave of conflicting emotions crashing over me. Anger, sadness, pity, but above all, a sense of finality. It ended the moment you chose him over me, I say, my voice steady. I hope you find whatever it is you're looking for, Bella. But it's not with me. She opens her mouth to respond, but I turn and walk away, leaving her standing there in the courthouse hallway. For the first time in months, I feel free. As I step into the sunlight outside, I take a deep breath, letting the fresh air fill my lungs. This is the start of something new. A life without lies, without betrayal. A life that's truly mine. The days following the court's decision feel like a blur. For the first time in months, I'm not waking up to anxiety or dread. Instead, I wake with a sense of peace, knowing that I've taken the first steps to reclaiming my life. The house, now officially mine, feels emptier than ever. Bella's belongings are gone. Her perfume no longer lingers in the air, and her favorite coffee mug no longer sits in the cupboard. At first, the silence is deafening, but as the days pass, I start to find comfort in it. It's a blank slate, a chance to rebuild. I dive into work with renewed focus, pouring myself into projects that had taken a back seat during the chaos of my crumbling marriage. My colleagues notice the change. You seem lighter, one of them remarks during a lunch break. I nod, offering a small smile. I guess I finally dropped some baggage, I reply. But it's not just work that helps me move forward. I start reconnecting with friends, people I'd pushed away during the storm of my marriage. My best friend, Mark, drags me out for drinks one night, insisting I need to let loose. You've been through hell, he says, clinking his beer bottle against mine. But you made it out the other side. That's worth celebrating. I chuckle, taking a sip. I'll drink to that. Over the next few weeks, I focus on rebuilding not just my life, but myself. I start hitting the gym again, rediscovering the strength I'd let slip away. I pick up hobbies I'd abandoned, fishing on the weekends, playing guitar in the evenings. It feels good to reconnect with the parts of me that had been buried under the weight of betrayal. One afternoon, while cleaning out the garage, I come across a box of old photographs. They are from the early days of my marriage with Bella. Photos of vacations, family gatherings, and lazy Sundays spent on the couch. I flip through them, a bittersweet ache settling in my chest. For a moment, I consider tossing the box, erasing those memories entirely. But instead, I tuck it back onto a shelf. Those moments, however tainted they feel now, were real. They were part of my life, part of who I was. I'm not erasing my past. I'm learning from it. As the weeks turn into months, I find myself thinking less and less about Bella. The anger and betrayal that once consumed me have faded, replaced by a quiet resolve. I survived. I took back my life, and I'm stronger for it. One evening, as I sit on the back porch watching the sun dip below the horizon, my phone buzzes. It's a message from Tyler. Congrats again on the win. Let me know if you need anything else. And remember, you deserve happiness, Alex. Don't let anyone take that from you again. I smile, typing back a quick thanks. His words stick with me as I sit there, the sky turning shades of pink and orange. For the first time in a long time, I feel a spark of hope, a belief that the future holds something better. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of a new chapter, one where I set the rules, where I choose the path. And I know one thing for sure. I'm never letting anyone take my happiness away again. Life starts to settle into a rhythm, but it's a rhythm I've never known before. Without the weight of a toxic relationship dragging me down, I feel lighter, freer. Each morning, I wake up with a sense of purpose, even if that purpose is as simple as figuring out what I want for breakfast. It's strange, but I like it. Work keeps me busy during the week, and I fill my weekends with activities that remind me who I am. Fishing trips, long hikes, and even joining a casual softball league. The team jokes about my laser-focused determination, and I laugh along with them. What they don't know is that focus came from fighting my way through a storm. One Saturday, I find myself wandering into a coffee shop I've never been to before. The place has a warm, inviting vibe, lots of wood and soft lighting, the kind of place that makes you want to stay a while. I order a black coffee and settle into a corner with my laptop, catching up on emails. That's when I see her. She's sitting a few tables away, engrossed in a book. Her dark hair falls in loose waves around her shoulders, and she's wearing a leather jacket over a simple white shirt. There's something about her, something grounded, real, that catches my attention. She glances up, and our eyes meet for a split second before she looks away. I shake my head, chuckling softly to myself. I'm not looking for anything right now. I've barely got my own life back together. Still, I find myself stealing another glance, and this time, she catches me. A small smile tugs at the corner of her lips, and I nod politely before returning to my laptop. An hour later, as I'm packing up to leave, she walks by my table. "Nice laptop," she says casually, nodding toward the sticker-covered case. "Thanks," I reply, surprised by the comment. Helps me look like I'm more interesting than I really am. She laughs, and it's a warm, genuine sound. "Well, it's working. I'm Natalie, by the way." "Alex," I say, holding out a hand. She shakes it, her grip firm and confident. "See you around, Alex," she says, and with that, she's gone. I stand there for a moment, watching her leave. It's just a passing interaction, a simple hello, but it leaves me smiling as I step out into the crisp afternoon air. Over the next few weeks, I run into Natalie a few more times at the coffee shop. Each time, we chat a little longer. She tells me about her job as a graphic designer, her love of photography, and her obsession with hiking trails. I tell her about my work, my newfound love of softball, and my plans to start traveling more. One day, as we're talking, she tilts her head and studies me for a moment. "You've been through something, haven't you?" she asks, her voice soft but curious. I hesitate, the question catching me off guard. "Yeah," I admit. "It's been a rough year." Her eyes meet mine, and there's no judgment there, just understanding. "Well, you made it through," she says. "That says a lot about you." Her words linger in my mind long after she leaves. It's not just the compliment. It's the way she said it, like she truly believed it. For the first time in a long time, I start to wonder if there's room in my life for someone new. The thought of opening myself up again is terrifying, but it's also exhilarating. With Natalie, there's no pressure, no expectations, just easy conversation and a sense of possibility. It's not about rushing into something new. It's about taking small steps, one at a time. As I sit on my porch that evening, watching the stars blink to life in the darkening sky, I feel something I haven't felt in a long time. Hope. Not just for a new relationship, but for the life I'm building, piece by piece. This is my story now, and I'm ready to see where it takes me. Natalie and I begin to see more of each other, but it's never forced. She's someone who values her independence, and I respect that. We meet for coffee once or twice a week, sometimes just talking, other times working quietly side by side. It's comfortable in a way I didn't think was possible anymore. One day, as we're walking out of the coffee shop, she pauses and looks up at me with a mischievous glint in her eye. "You're not bad company, Alex. How do you feel about hiking?" "Hiking?" I laugh. "I haven't done much of it lately, but I'm game." "Good," she says, grinning. "There's a trail I've been meaning to check out. You're coming with me this weekend." It feels natural, easy. I agree without hesitation. Saturday morning arrives crisp and sunny. I meet Natalie at the trailhead, where she's waiting with a small backpack and a confident smile. She's dressed in hiking boots and a lightweight jacket, her hair tied back. I can't help but admire how at ease she looks in her element. The trail winds through dense woods, the scent of pine filling the air. We talk as we walk, trading stories and laughing more than I expected. She's curious but never intrusive, asking about my life without prying into the parts I'm not ready to share yet. After a while, we reach a clearing with a stunning view of a valley below. Natalie drops her pack and sits on a large rock, gesturing for me to join her. "See," she says, motioning to the vista. "This is why I hike. It's moments like this." I nod, taking it all in. The quiet, the beauty. It's exactly what I needed, though I didn't realize it until now. "You were right," I admit. "This is incredible." She glances at me, her expression thoughtful. "You seem lighter out here, like you're starting to let go of something." Her words catch me off guard, but I know she's right. There's something about this moment, being out in the open, breathing fresh air, sharing it with someone who feels safe. For the first time in months, I feel like I'm not carrying the weight of the past. We sit in silence for a while, watching the sun climb higher in the sky. When we head back down the trail, Natalie turns to me and says, "You're not bad at this. Maybe I'll keep you around." I laugh, but there's a warmth in her tone that makes me feel like she means it. Over the next few weeks, our hikes become a regular thing. We explore new trails, sometimes talking, sometimes walking in comfortable silence. With Natalie, there's no pressure, no pretense, just the simple joy of being in the moment. One evening, after a long day at work, I find myself looking forward to our next hike. The thought makes me pause. It's been a long time since I've looked forward to anything beyond getting through the day. Natalie has a way of making the world feel brighter, more alive. It's not just about her, though. It's about me. For the first time, I feel like I'm reconnecting with the person I used to be, the person I want to be again. The past isn't something I can erase, but it's no longer the thing that defines me. Each step I take feels like a step towards something better, something new. And for the first time, I'm excited to see where the path leads. It's a crisp fall morning when Natalie and I tackle one of the toughest trails yet. The air is sharp, the leaves underfoot crunching with every step. She's ahead of me, navigating the uneven ground like she's done it 100 times before. I can't help but admire how natural she looks out here, her confidence and ease infectious. "Almost there," she calls over her shoulder, a playful grin on her face. "Is this what you call almost?" I reply, panting. "Remind me to get in better shape before I agree to one of your hikes again." She laughs, waiting for me to catch up. "Come on, you're doing fine. Besides, the view is worth it." We crest the final hill, and she's right. The view is breathtaking. Rolling hills painted in shades of orange, red, and gold, stretching as far as the eye can see. I take a deep breath, the cool air filling my lungs as a sense of calm settles over me. Natalie sits on a large boulder, pulling a water bottle from her pack. She pats the space next to her, and I join her, still catching my breath. "This," she says, gesturing to the scenery, is why I love hiking. It puts everything in perspective. I nod, staring out at the horizon. It does, I say, my voice quiet. You forget how small your problems are when you're standing in a place like this. She glances at me, her expression thoughtful. You've been through a lot, haven't you? I hesitate, the question hanging in the air. Natalie has never pushed me to talk about my past, but something about this moment feels safe. Right. Yeah, I say finally. This past year has been a lot. She doesn't press, just waits, giving me the space to continue. My marriage ended, I say, my voice steady despite the weight of the words. It was messy, ugly. I thought it was going to break me. Natalie nods slowly, her eyes never leaving mine. But it didn't, she says softly. No, I admit, it didn't. I thought it would, but I don't know. I guess I realized I had two choices. Let it destroy me or use it to rebuild. I'm still figuring it out. She smiles, and it's warm, genuine. That takes strength, Alex. More than most people have. The sincerity in her voice catches me off guard, and for a moment, I don't know what to say. Thanks, I manage, my throat tight. We sit there for a while, the silence between us comfortable. For the first time, I feel like I'm not just surviving, I'm living. The weight of the past is still there, but it feels lighter somehow, like I've started to make peace with it. As we head back down the trail, Natalie falls into step beside me. You know, she says, her tone light, you're not bad at this whole hiking thing. Maybe we should make it a regular thing. I chuckle. I think you've got me hooked. Her laughter echoes through the trees, and I realize I haven't felt this light in years. Natalie isn't just helping me heal. She's reminding me of the kind of person I want to be. When we reach the parking lot, she turns to me, her smile soft. Same time next week? Absolutely, I say without hesitation. As I watch her drive away, a strange feeling washes over me. It's not just hope, it's something stronger, something I haven't felt in a long time. It's happiness. The following week, I find myself standing in front of the mirror, adjusting my shirt and running a hand through my hair. It's not a hike today, it's dinner. Natalie suggested it casually after our last hike, and before I could overthink it, I said yes. Now, as I prepare to meet her, a flicker of nervousness runs through me. It's been years since I've been on anything that could remotely be called a date, but this feels different. There's no pressure, no expectations, just two people sharing a meal. When I arrive at the small, cozy restaurant Natalie picked, she's already there, waiting at a table by the window. She looks stunning, her usual casual vibe replaced with a touch of elegance. As I approach, she smiles, and the warmth in her expression instantly puts me at ease. You made it, she says, standing to greet me. Wouldn't miss it, I reply, taking a seat across from her. The conversation flows effortlessly, just like it always does. We talk about everything, her latest design projects, my plans to take on a big new account at work, and even our favorite childhood memories. She laughs as I tell her about the time I tried to build a treehouse and ended up stuck halfway up a ladder. You seem lighter, she says after the plates are cleared and we're sharing dessert. Happier. I pause, her words settling over me. I think I am, I admit. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm not just existing. I'm actually living. She nods, her eyes meeting mine. That's what life's about, Alex. Moving forward, finding joy again. I smile, realizing how right she is. Natalie has been a beacon in my life, a reminder that even after the storm, there's still beauty to be found. As we step out into the crisp night air, she slips her arm through mine, a gesture so natural it surprises me. Walk me to my car, she asks. Of course, I say, leading her to the small lot nearby. When we reach her car, she pauses, turning to face me. This was fun, she says, her voice soft. I'm glad you came. Me too, I reply, my heart pounding slightly as she steps closer. For a moment, we just stand there, the world around us fading away. Then, with a quiet confidence I didn't know I had, I lean in and kiss her. It's gentle, unhurried, and when we pull apart, the smile on her face is enough to light up the night. See you next week? she asks, her tone playful. Definitely, I reply, watching as she gets into her car and drives away. As I walk back to my own car, I feel a sense of contentment I haven't felt in years. The road that led me here was rough, filled with pain and betrayal, but it brought me to this moment. To her, this is more than a new beginning. It's the start of a life I'm building on my terms, with honesty, hope, and a newfound belief in second chances. And for the first time, I'm not afraid of what the future holds. I'm ready to embrace it. What did you think of Alex's incredible journey from betrayal to rebuilding his life? Have you ever faced a moment where you had to start over? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If this story inspired you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more gripping tales of resilience, second chances, and personal triumph. Don't miss out. Hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content.